No, you are not dreaming. No, you are not dreaming. West Ham 4, Wolves 0. West Ham absolutely. We could go as far as saying West Ham absolutely destroyed Wolves today at home, 4-0. I mean, I'm absolutely shocked if I'm being brutally honest with you. My name's Anton. Welcome back to Irons United. Make sure you comment throughout the show. We'll come through and get your comments up and talk them through closer into the show. Stel and Dan, we done the match day live. Just go straight over to yourself, Stel. Wow.
Well, what can I say? You know, I said I'd eat my hat, and I have eaten it. But you haven't seen it. It was a class performance. No one expected it. We didn't expect it, but the team played brilliantly. There wasn't a player that I could turn around and say had a bad game. I'm chuffed. I mean, I'm actually like you. I'm actually speechless, but I'm pleased. I'm pleased in the way we played. I'm pleased in the way we approached the game. I was apprehensive at the start. You know, when I saw what their team was all about. But ironically, all the stuff that I was afraid of actually came back to bite them, because they had a very attack-minded team, and they can manage our. Is that the dog in the background, Dan?
No.
They can manage our counterplay. You know, our counter attack. Hats off to Moyes. He pulled it off. Yeah. From his armchair at home.
100%. Dan, I mean, I don't know if you weren't there right at the start, but myself and Stel, we came on the show when the team news was announced, and it was a little bit of rinse and repeat in terms of what we expected when myself and you did the Arsenal game. We started off really negative about the team selection, but you know, both West Ham sides, Cup and League, are proving that Moyes is going to have difficult decisions to make in the near future. How do you rate that performance tonight?
Oh, brilliant. It's what you'd expect. Every player had a good game, and that's what you want.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Like I said, the only change was Balbuena stepping in for Diop, of course, because he had the coronavirus. But all in all, I mean, forgetting the result, I was slightly disappointed in the team selection. But, you know, that's why I'm sitting in a broom cupboard and not on the London Stadium choosing the team. What did you make of the team selection still?
Well, we discussed it, didn't we? I think we were all a bit disappointed at the team. It's not that anyone deserved to be dropped. I just think we were all thinking this isn't the right sort of team against a team like Wolves, because we know that Wolves is a very attack-minded side, and it looked as if we were a team that were going to be sitting back, absorbing an awful lot of the pressure. But I guess what we didn't realise is how we were set up to counter-attack, because as soon as we won the ball back, every time we broke down any of their attacking play, we were on the front foot, and it was proven in, you know, the goals we scored. And the beginning, the lineup to me wasn't an inspiring lineup, but like you, mate, that's why I don't manage a team professionally.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. I mean, Dan, we had a look at the opposition, the way they were lining up, and you look at that forward line: Neto, Raul, and Adama Traore, and in behind them was Neves and Moutinho. And just before you came on, we had Richard that came on, who actually said that he really was confident that West Ham would win that battle in the midfield. Now, listen, we can't fault Rice and Souček, but Richard hit the nail on the head. We did absolutely win that battle in the middle of the park. How did you rate Rice and Souček today?
Very strong. They just kept pushing and pushing. Anytime Wolves tried to get into their own half, quite often the two would just mark their man and push Wolves back into their own half.
Yeah.
They made runs when they should. They stayed back when they should. They communicated really well with each other. Almost telepathic between them. I think I said that during the live show. They knew what each other was doing and where they had to be to benefit the other person.
they've really got a strong understanding. They really, really, really do. And even, you know, prior to Noble not playing in the side, even when Noble was there, the three of them did have a good understanding. Noble's not there, of course, but Rice and Souček, one was driving forward, one was sitting back, the other one was driving forward, the other one was sitting back. And like you said, Dan, it was a little bit telepathically like they understood that you had to do it. Rice's mopping up today, though, was through the roof, and Souček going forward and being that box-to-box midfielder was so important. But we go into the game, and as we know, David Moyes was sitting on his couch at home talking to Stuart Pearce, who was in the stands, who was feeding the information to Alan Irvine on the sidelines. Do you think they had any kind of impact, or did it have any impact on West Ham that Moyes wasn't there still?
I mean, people are saying it in the comments, you know, Moyes should stay at home more often and stuff like that. There must be some kind of psychological impact. I don't know what the players think of Moyes. I'm guessing that, you know, they respect him and everything. But it's like when your boss is out of the office, it gives you, you know, it almost loosens up. It loosens the shackles, doesn't it? As if, like, you know, you'll be working, but you might have a bit of banter. They look the team tonight looked like they enjoyed themselves on the pitch, and I just wonder. You know, I mean, it's a psychological thing. Moyes being at home because he wasn't in the stadium, did that have a positive effect? I mean, I know it sounds a bit corny, a bit ironic, but it is a bit like when you're working in an office, your boss is out for the day, the rest of the day, and everyone is just letting it, you know, hang a little bit easier. And the team actually looked like they played quite differently today. Same lineup, same formation, apart from Balbuena in for Diop. But they looked like they were they had a bit of a free flow about them.
Absolutely.
Is that the Moyes effect, not being in the stadium? I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's you know.
Dan, West Ham really, really did see the weakness in Wolves' side, which was down their left flank. You know, they lost one of their players earlier in the season. They signed a new player, which I think he got injured last week, and they did really struggle down there. And Jared Bowen really caused them a lot of problems down the left wing. Down the right on his side, but down the left-hand side for Wolves. I mean, we were picking up on it the whole game. How do you rate Bowen's performance? Of course, he got a brace.
Oh, brilliant. Man of the match for me. He was all over the shop. He was making trouble in midfield, and then as he's moving forward, was he going to strike it? Was he going to pass it? It was confusing defenders. And then when it became to Wolves trying to attack on us, he was back mopping up with Fredericks. Between him and Fredericks, the same as we were saying about Rice and Souček, they work so well together. Even when Johnson come on, they seem to work together almost as well then. But he was all over the field, Bowen. Really worked his socks off today.
Do you know what, Dan? He really was, mate. I mean, he's got 2 goals. To credit his work he's done today, he, like you said, mate, he was tracking back. He was absolutely everywhere today. How important is Bowen for us? I mean, we've been going on all week about the players in the cup and getting a chance into the Premier League side. Not that we ever forgot that Bowen was there, but you know, tonight again, he's just constantly turning up trumps and he's going to become he's going to become a contender for Hammer of the Year. He's going to be one of our class. You know, you can see, you know, you could see it last season. It's going to be a much closer call for Hammer of the Year. And I know we're only 3 games in, but I'm going by what we saw last season as well. It's going to be a much closer call for Hammer of the Year with the likes of Bowen in the team, with the likes of Souček in the team. You know, you've got Antonio on form. You know, you've got all the other players who still haven't played full games in the Premier League, you know, doing really well in the cup competitions, like Allaire who came on and so on and so forth. And I think it's gonna give everyone that boost, and Bowen is gonna ride off that. It's gonna make him want to be a better player, and he's absolutely he's crucial to us, and he's going to prove to be a really, really decent player for us this season. Yeah,
and I wouldn't be surprised. I know he's only scored three goals in his West Ham career so far, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's knocking on double figures by the end of the season.
I think he's assisted as well, quite a few in his career so far. But let's talk about the first goal in particular. I think was it Bowley that absolutely destroyed Antonio in the centre of the park, Dan. But fortunately for us, the referee allowed play on, and Fornals.
That was from Reese. Thank you for that. I just sent a photo to the Facebook group. Cheers, Reese. Got it there, mate.
And Fornals, he quickly off the top of his head, pinged the ball out wide to Jared Bowen, who cut inside. I think there was 3 Wolves players around him, and he just nicely slotted the ball into the bottom left-hand corner. What a fantastic goal. But it brings me on to Fornals. Dan, me and you were talking in the game, and we said if there was one position that West Ham fans would change, it probably would be Fornals. But tonight, I'm not saying he was a standout performance, but tonight he done absolutely everything that was asked of him.
And that's incredible. Incredible. I was saying I would put Lanzini in his position, or change it at half time and maybe bring Haller on and have Antonio. And, the board lit up with comments like people would do the same. And I've big-headed. I've been saying this for weeks. I said, this is what we should do. Yeah. And then he goes and scores not only one assist, he creates a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
He has a second assist.
Absolutely, because I think what was it? Was it a fantastic ball from Antonio out wide, the 57th minute? He pings the ball out just outside the edge of the 18-yard box. Fornals takes the ball down outside the 18-yard box, hits the ball really low and hard, hits the post, bounces to Jared Bowen, who's in the right place at the right time, and taps the ball into the back of net to make it 2-0.
We've done more commentary now than we were doing throughout the whole watch.
Listen, there's actually a really nice comment. There's actually a really, really, really nice comment in the chat. If you've seen it, I don't know if you've seen it still. Let me get it up before I continue. Where is it? Come on.
While you're looking for that, I just got to say, you've got to give credit to Fornals to go from that sitter where he should have scored to put the ball into the canal and then to go on.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Take a strike and set that up.
Harrison Winnett, for someone whose family can't afford BT Sport, watching the live stream helps me keep involved in great times like this. Good time and best bit about match days, Irons United. Listen, that's the whole point of us doing the show.
Harrison, if you send us a message on our Facebook Messenger, we'll send you a little reply. That might help you going forward.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Good show.
Now we're going to get 129 people all messaging us going, what is that? What's all that about? But Harrison, seriously, on the Facebook channel, send us a message on Messenger and we'll give you a little reply that might help you for the next game.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Good shout. But like we said, Fornals helping out Jared Bowen, assisting 2 of his goals. Fornals, though, did miss an absolute sitter in the second half, didn't he? Dan,
now imagine that. Before, we'd be absolutely screaming and shouting and like cursing him and going, he's shit, who picked him, who bought him? And because we won 4-0, it was like, oh, well, he missed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some might say, oh, if Lanzini had played in that position, we might have won by 6. I wouldn't say that. I'm happy with 4.
But, listen, I have described the second goal, which was in the second half, but before we go further into the second half, there was no substitutions by West Ham, and I think it was 1-0 to West Ham, and when we got the second goal, I think we were all in shock a little bit, and what we certainly didn't expect was for West Ham to go ahead and score a third in the 66th minute, which I think is controversial because according to what I'm looking at right now, they've actually awarded Jimenez an own goal for that. Now, there was a slight deflection, but what I understand the rules to be are Creswell took a corner and didn't beat the first man, but fortunately for him, Souček was the first man who headed the ball in from 6 yards out, and it hit Jimenez as a slight deflection.
You're not taking that away from Souček. That's his goal.
Yeah.
It has been given as his own goal.
God.
I think
the game is getting ridiculous, isn't it?
I think they can challenge it, and I think they will challenge it, to be honest, because I'm adamant the rule is if the ball's going on target, that the player then gets the goal awarded.
The goal, yeah, exactly.
So we'll see. But listen, we're 3-0 up. West Ham have nullified Traore down in the wing. He really did struggle today. He was trying his best to get through the defence, but what he was getting met with was a certain pairing. Kresuaku, apparently their name is.
Kresuaku.
Creswell and Masuaku. This one is over to you, Stel. How did you rate their performance today?
Creswell was brilliant. Masuaku was all right, wasn't he? Look, what can I say? I have given this guy so much grief over the last few seasons for not delivering. And he delivered today. And he was even doing all the stuff I was criticizing him about. Like his decisiveness at the last minute. And he was putting the ball in when he should have been. He was getting great crosses in. I mean, what can I say? He made the goal for Haller, didn't he? Was it his cross?
Yeah, it was his assist. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I will hold my hand up when I'm wrong. I will say I'm wrong, and if I think I'm right, I'll say I'm right. And in this case, I think Masuaku did really.
So
not usually. Not usually. But not usually. He was all right, Masuaku.
So was he wrong?
I hold my hat up. I've eaten my hat.
You've eaten your hat.
I've eaten my hat. He played really well, but it is ironic, and we said it as a joke halfway near the end of the game. The irony that Cresswell and Masuaku, and I think you said it, Dan. Between them, they make one good left-sided player. Hence we're now calling them Cresswell. Because individually they've got mistakes in them and God knows what else. But as a unit, I can't believe it. And they both played really well. They complemented each other. Cresswell played well defensively. Masuaku played well going forward. Brilliant, because it's brilliant. It means it bodes well for West Ham United. And so hats off.
And then
hat eaten.
while we're talking about the defence, Balbuena stepped in the shoes of Diop tonight alongside Oggy. Dan, how do you rate Balbuena's performance?
Brilliant. The one word sums it up: solid. He had such a good game. He wasn't outstanding, but that's not what you want from a defender.
No,
especially from like a centre back. He was there when he needed to be. He made clearances. He got in the way. He cut the tacks down. He dispossessed crosses and runs coming into the box. Very, very solid performance for him today.
Yeah, absolutely. Still anything to add there on the defensive display?
No, mate. I mean, the good thing about it is that Moyes, we keep hearing that Moyes doesn't fancy him and Moyes is desperate to get another defender in, etc. And what Balbuena has done tonight is gone, just remember, I'm here.
Yeah.
If you need a player to fill in, if I'm going to be the third choice, then make me the third choice rather than bringing another player in and I drop down the pecking order. And it was a timely reminder that but let's be honest, he hasn't had the best of seasons last season. The first season he was with us, he was great. He fell away, didn't do so well. So it's great to be able to see what's happening is, and we do need to get a couple more defenders, is what's happening is we've got more competition for places now, and Balbuena has realised I'm not going to be picked unless I can show what I can do. And he stepped in tonight and he was solid. And as Dan said, you don't need him to be brilliant. You don't need him to be, fancy or anything. You just need him to be solid. And he was, brilliant. Fantastic.
100%. Let's move up front then to Mr. Mikel Antonio. I mean, and he didn't get on the score sheet today, but I mean, what a performance again from this man. I mean, he is an absolute workhorse. I said, Dan, throughout the match day live that we just did, that a lot of fans are talking about, I know Sebastian Haller's got a lot of is performing really well, scoring some goals. We'll talk about his goal in a minute, but to even consider dropping this guy it's absolutely delusional to think that, because his hold-up play was just phenomenal tonight, and he kept turning the defence. He was causing their defence problems left, right and centre. And do you know what? Half the time they had to hack him to bring him down, and then that was giving West Ham a positive move forward. Describe Antonio's performance to me tonight, Dan.
Absolute beast. He's an absolute beast, isn't he? I've said it time and time again. He brings players towards him. If there's one defender, he could go past them, he could go through them. So it makes space for other players, because there'll be 2 or 3 defenders that are going to go towards him, because there's a chance he's going to go through you. And he hasn't got the flair, but his basic skills, it will just run straight through you and find a spot to put that ball.
100%, mate. 100%. Listen, what happened was West Ham made a couple of late substitutions, and Mark Noble came on for Bowen and Haller came on for Antonio, and bang, within a couple of minutes, a ball gets pinged in. Who was it? Was it Masuaku?
Yeah, Masuaku.
It was Masuaku.
Was it 2 assists for Masuaku tonight?
You what?
No, it was one assist.
What?
Pings the ball in, beautiful ball in, and Haller is on the end of it with his header and scores a goal to make it 4-0 West Ham. Fantastic ball from Masuaku. Stel, describe the goal to me.
You know, he did a classic goal where when the ball comes one way, you put it back to where it came from, you know, to make it really difficult for the keeper to get it. So, you know, because everyone's watching the ball come one way, the striker heads it going back the same way it came. And you know, there was no chance for the keeper. He plonked it right in the corner. The keeper was never going to get it. And it was a classic striker's goal. And what do we keep saying? You give this guy ammunition, you give him support, and he'll score goals. And that is his 5th goal of the season. Now, it doesn't matter who you're playing against. That is his 5th goal this season. 2 against Charlton, 2 against Hull, and now 1 in the Premier League. And you know, that's not a bad return for a £45 million striker. 3 games played, 5 goals, and I reckon, and I know, I get what you're saying about, you know, who do you drop to play Haller, etc., etc. You play Haller, and if you feed him the ball, he'll score. Yeah. You know,
Masuaku was outstanding today. I will say it, because you asked Stel how good Masuaku was, and he went on to tell you how brilliant Haller was. He was on the pitch for 4 minutes.
Listen,
had a really good game.
I said Masuaku played well and he crossed the ball for the goal. What more do you want to say?
Let me read through some of the stats of the game. West Ham had a total of 15 shots to Wolves 11. West Ham had 7 shots on target to Wolves 2. Possession was 63% to Wolves to West Ham's 37%. You know, Wolves
say
did
that again.
63% to Wolves.
Possession for an away team.
Yeah. They made
keep taking a ball out of it.
They had 87% pass accuracy on 610 passes to West Ham's 76% accuracy to 364 passes. So they had a lot of the ball. And as Dan said, if you watch the game again, you see that West Ham press so much that it forces the players to pass the ball, but they actually passed a lot through the back. And never
anything penetrative.
Yeah. And what I'd like to see is like a heat map of the positioning of where the ball was, because West Ham's attacks were more effective and more penetrative to the game than the opposition. But apart from that, the rest of the stats I'm not really that bothered about, to be honest.
You can have all the possession in the world, but if that possession includes you having to keep taking the ball out of your net and taking it to the centre circle and keep taking kickoffs, and you don't take your chances, you could have all the percent in the world, but if you don't put that ball in that net, it means nothing.
Agreed.
Wolves will push you forward and forward. They just couldn't finish their dinner.
Yeah. There's one stat I'm happy about tonight: clean sheet. I think that is so important. So that clean sheet is as important as the 4 goals we scored, because not only are the 4 goals going to give us confidence going forward, the clean sheet is going to give that defence a hell of a lot of confidence.
Do you think this guy's had anything to do with it?
No, I think if you've got a picture of Ogbonna, that might help. At least show him in the shirt that he wore tonight, not the away shirt from last. I mean, that's cheating. Just showing him on any shirt, you know. Show him in tonight's game, mate. You know.
Listen, shall we go into some of the
comments? On a clean sheet, I think I was the most optimistic out of us, I think, before the start of the game. And I didn't think West Ham will win. But when I came on, we'll win 2-1. I can't say we'll lose. I never can. And it'll be 2-1, because I thought we'd win, but I never thought we'd keep a clean sheet.
Yeah, I agree.
Clean sheet.
I'm right at the top of the comments. So do you want me to knock them out?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So Robert, good evening, mate. Antonio, man and match. Masuaku crossed for Haller's goal. Headed goal brilliantly. Happy for him. And Masuaku played really well. Just a couple of mistakes from him in defence. Robert, wash your mouth out. Masuaku make mistakes. How dare you? Alan Irvin's Claret and Blue Army. Are we going to hear that quite a few times throughout the season? There we go. See, people, you know, Masuaku, 2 games, has improved defensively and great going forward. Masuaku suits 5 at the back. Right. Did we play 5 at the back today? Or did we play 4-4-1-1?
I think
It's
it
a tough
changed.
one, isn't
It just changed as the game called for it. At certain points, we was 5 at the back when we was defending. When we was going forward, it was almost like we was playing 3 at the back with wing backs.
Yeah.
Because the right back or the left back, whether it is Fredericks or Masuaku, were playing off the midfielders or the wingers, as it were.
Eamon, if you think about it, only bad game we've played was against Newcastle, pre-season cups and Arsenal. We've played well. My only gripe is still transfers. Agreed, mate. I think he's right there. We did really well during pre-season. Just an awful game against Newcastle, which kind of set the tone, didn't it? We all thought, here we go. That's what we were worried about. There's a comment from Bradley. Bradley, how you doing, mate? We ain't seen you for ages, mate. David Moyes is making quite obvious now because of the massive fixtures. He's keeping a league team and a cup team. So breaking through to the league team will be quite difficult because he has a plan. Well, Bradley, what is that? Do you not think, like we talked about this before the game started, that he's promoted, for want of a better description, a couple of players through from the cup team to the league team. Is there now room for Haller to play in the next game? Joan, Haller looked well cheesed off. He needs more Premier League minutes. He didn't look happy when he scored, did he? He looked like a man who was like, "What more do I need to do?" But what do you guys think? Should he be playing? If he should be playing, who is going to drop out for him?
I mean, prior to this game,
Sorry, go on, Ed.
Prior to this game, I was saying Fornals, but how the biggest problem you've got here is how do you drop a winning side or a side that progressively are getting better? That's the thing. Arsenal, we played well. We can't really fault the determination. We should have got something out of the game. Yep. And tonight you can't fault anything. And it's not against a side. It's against a side that we actually genuinely thought we would struggle against. Yeah, not me talking about like a relegation battle or anything. A side that this time 7 games ago were vying in the quarterfinals of Europa League.
That's right.
Every club was looking around. They're attracting big players from all over the world, and they're spending money in the market. And they're not just throwing all those players in willy-nilly. They've got a player in the ranks, Raul Jimenez, who scores goals for them up front. They've got a defence that are pretty solid, and we've went and scored 4 goals against them tonight. Absolutely. We've got to give credit where credit's due.
Yep, absolutely. Fo, I hate to say it, but I told everyone I'm a believer in 3-4-3. Well, that is interesting. Maybe that is the formation we played, more like a 3-4-3, which ironically would suit Haller if he was playing in that formation as well. Anyway, Christopher Yasu Diganis, West Ham from Cyprus. God, another Cypriot West Ham fan. I thought I was the only one, so I had to put that one in. Jeremy, Noble has been a great servant to the club, but aren't we now a better team with Noble not in the first 11? Right, Dan, what do you say about that?
I agree.
Yeah,
it's simple as that. I agree. Noble has not had his time at the club. There's still parts he can play.
100%. That's exactly the point.
He doesn't need to start every game. We've got such a good midfielders that you've got to fight for that spot. And as much as I love Noble, there are better players for certain games.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Do you know what they did tonight? Albeit they gave him 5 minutes. That's exactly when Noble should be coming on. Well, not 5 minutes, maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
If the score was maybe 2-0 and there was 20 minutes to go or whatever, then that's when Noble...
you need to tighten it up in midfield.
Yeah. And he can do that for another 2 or 3 years. If I'm being brutally honest, I think he's got another couple of years in him doing that if he needs to. And out with that, if we don't need him to tighten it up, he can come on and be a reasonably good attacking threat as well. So he's got a future. Of course he's got a future. He's Mark Noble.
And not only that, is when we've got local teams playing at home, he loves to play a local derby. He knows how important it is more than anyone else, and he does put a shift in.
Stel, was your hat curried or did you have it with chips? I had it with a great big piece of humble pie because I didn't think Masuaku was going to be decent tonight. And there you go, Masuaku Hammer of the Year. Radio.
You can say that again.
Walter, great game. Why do fans think that they know more than the coaching staff that work with the players every week? That was the best game that Arthur has played. Why do we think we know better than the managers?
Well, listen, I don't think we do think we know better. I think we just wear our hearts on our sleeves. You know, we've decided to have a channel which gives us a voice, and by having a voice, we need to have an opinion, and by that, we need to express our opinion. So, you know, if I didn't do it here on the thing, I would be in the supporters club or be at home talking to my missus, moaning at the fact that someone's not starting. And I think there's a lot of, I don't think I'm lonely in thinking that Haller should have started tonight.
I think most people did.
I think a lot of people thought he should have, but you know, there's a reason. Like I said, if you watch their match day live, there is a reason why I'm underneath my stairs and I'm not at the London Stadium.
We know that none of us are experts.
No,
but what we are is we're guys sat in a pub having a conversation, but we're broadcasting it, and we know that.
Jonathan, can we all ring Sport tomorrow and tell Jim White and everyone else over there, today we won and we still want GSB out, so no results don't change things. So good results don't change that. Yeah, agreed, mate. But they ain't going anywhere, unfortunately. We know that too. Here we go. See, everyone thinks differently. Haller, our top scorer on 5 goals, can't even get into the starting 11. So what would you guys do? Who would you drop in order to accommodate Haller? We kind of had our say. We're not, you know, it's our own thoughts, but let us know in the comments. What would you do in order to accommodate Haller? Be interesting to find out.
I completely agree with what Ant was saying. The only thing you could have done before this game or up to half time would be to drop Fornells and play 2 up top.
Yeah.
But after today, I'm not too sure, because there's no one you would take out of that team to have Haller go into the team, in my opinion.
Dan, good evening, Dan. How's the baby? Hope everything's well with you. Possession means nothing unless you do something with it. Always said we could be a decent counter-attacking team if we wanted to be. There you go, Dan. We can all be confident.
Is that Daniel Craig there being
that's Daniel Craig. That's James Bond.
Mate.
Yeah. I hope you're well, Dan. What else we got? Steve, 1 defender and striker on the bench, yet no snodders, such a strong midfield. Yeah, I mean, it was a strong midfield. You know, it did worry me that we only had 1 defender on the bench, though, you know, especially when Creswell went down, which I thought he was going to get taken off for. But yeah, it just goes to prove that we do need a few defenders to come in, even if they're loan signings, just to give us that
Tonks back.
Yeah, I would. Schizo, clean sheet is brilliant. Fab's had very little to do. Isn't that nice to say for a change? You know, that he actually had very little to do.
Schizo, where have you been as well? You've been missing.
Yeah, he's not been around for a while. That's true. Yeah, where have you been? You haven't been watching other channels, have you?
You're not like it.
Bradley again. At times it was 4-4-2, Bowen playing up top with Antonio. He was actually the closest to Antonio, wasn't he? He was supporting him more than most of the others, and he got justly rewarded 2 goals. We have the resources to keep pushing forward, so why we ever change tactics is beyond me. Only ever end up hurting us when we do. Yeah, good point. Shall I carry on with the comments, lads? You happy?
Yeah, I mean, there's a one you can skip because we could be here for bloody.
Yeah, trust me, I'm actually skipping quite a lot.
Someone's made a payment.
Again,
You've got a comment coming on.
Oh, Mr. Bailey, is that for the haircut? Thank you, Luke. Fans need to calm down now. Let Moyes manage. Got a cup run going, and we jumped to 10th tonight. In spite of board out.
Do you think Luke meant to pay £5 to a channel he's involved in?
I don't think he did. When he realises, he'd be like, "Give me that money back."
I don't think he did. I think someone else has as well.
Quote KVO the Bloodless. Quoth the Bloodless. Should that be? Dan, you're a goth. Is that Quoth the Bloodless?
I can't see. You need to put it up. I can't see it.
It's there, mate. Put your glasses on.
Oh, I've still got Jones' comment up there.
Oh, forget it then. Anyway, give Souček back his goal. This is almost as bad as the Chelsea travesty last year. History doesn't ask, and the guy deserves it. Already 2 regular goals down. Agreed, mate. That is his goal. There's no denying it. Schizo again. I said earlier that Mikhail and Seb can share being the striker. Just change with game time left for the subs. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen. We did well, but it would have been nice to have given them a longer run out than 2-3 minutes, wouldn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
You know. But anyway, let's not.
Luke,
moan.
can you let us know in the comments if that $4.99 is to go towards the travel of the players to Everton for the return cup match?
Lee, Rice going won't be good, but if we use the money wisely and don't sell on the cheap, it could not be that bad a thing. We must get 2 or 3 in if he goes. Lee, he ain't going this season. Trust me. Do you lads think he's going this season?
No.
Anton?
No.
Struggling.
I don't think he's going
Listen,
They can't do
Listen.
it, can they? They can't create another Frank Lampard.
No, but listen, if Chelsea want him, are you telling me they won't get him?
They won't get him this season. There is talk about them buying him and loaning him back to us for the season.
Mate, that wouldn't happen. That would be an absolute disaster if that happened.
Of course it would be a disaster. It would be outrage.
He's an
an
absolute
outrage.
He'd walk into the Chelsea side.
Yeah, he would. He ain't going this season. He will go next season, but he ain't going this season.
I really hope he does.
Massive. I was asking for Fornals to be subbed, to be fair. I don't think any of our other players would have had the intelligence to take a quick free kick and play it forward like he did for the first goal. There you go. You know, Stu, good evening. So in the beginning, we said we would be okay with 3 points from the first 6 games or so, counting those 3 as coming from our first game with Newcastle. What's our desire now for the other remaining games that we've got coming up? Because I remember when we were talking about pre-season, that when the fixtures came out, and I remember we were saying, I think we're going to surprise 1 or 2 teams, and I think tonight is one of the surprises. I think it was a surprise against Newcastle that we lost the way we did, but I think tonight is one of those surprises. What are we going to get out of the next few games coming up? We've got Leicester next, and what are we going to do?
I think we can't change formation. Keep pressing like we're doing, because obviously something's the work ethic in the side is up there. They're pressing every team. You know, when West Ham have got a core of players that can play football, when we press other sides, it puts them well under pressure, and that's the West Ham that we want to see. You know, that means that they have possession and we play in the counter attack, like Fandango said. Then happy days. You know, but West Ham we are scoring goals, and still, like you said, how important tonight's clean sheet is equally as important as to scoring the 4 goals. I know we need to score goals to get the points, but the confidence that's going to help with the defence is huge. And you know, when Diop comes back, he's going to struggle to get back in the side because, like you said, you can't drop a winning side.
Yeah, I agree with that. But Balbuena did well enough tonight to suggest that he should stay in the team for the next game.
Jonathan Boyce has also put £1.99 in. Thank you, mate. Call.
What's going on here? We might have enough to buy ourselves a beer between us.
That'll pay for a European tour we might go on.
Water's a good point here. Why do you have to be in the starting 11? You have a squad and you pick your players from the squad to play against the team you're playing, and Rice will not go anywhere. Okay, that's a good point. Why do you have to be in the starting 11? I think, Walter, I think what we're saying about Allaire is that I certainly think that he deserved to start because of the way he's been scoring goals in the cup games. Lads, I don't know. What do you guys think?
He deserves to start, but there's no one there that I would drop to play him. It's 50-50. You've got to take out another player that's performing well to put him into that team. Yeah. So you've got to drop someone. That's the only reason I wouldn't. Or I'd play 4-4-2. So I'd drop either Masuaku or Cresswell, play a 4-4-2, and have him up top with Antonio.
Yeah, then you won't have the Cresswell influence. There you go.
No.
One new notification. I love the name. Not the names people create. Rice used to be Irish and now he's English. I can see him kissing the Chelsea badge in 3 weeks. Sharp intake of breath. I don't think so, mate. He will go, but I don't think he'll go this season.
I know you're saying that still, but if they want their man and they pay the money,
yeah.
The trouble is, lads, the reason why I can't see it happening is because as stupid as our board is, even they wouldn't be stupid enough to sell him a few days before transfer deadline day, and we've got no one else to replace him. Because without him in the centre of midfield alongside Souček, who are we going to have? We don't have a player.
Yeah, when you look at the fallout as well of Dean Garner that when he went, the fallout from that. Can you imagine if Rice goes?
Oh, chaos.
Mental.
Chaos. Chelsea conceding 3 goals against West Brom may make Lampard go for Rice. That's what I thought when watching Match of the Day yesterday. They could all have done with Rice. Hope we keep him. You know, let's focus on tonight because we won 4-0 tonight.
We did.
You know,
I did.
Yeah, why are we not pessimistic?
So yeah, exactly. So
But listen,
we'll do those comments
what I
for
will
another
say.
day.
What I will say is, bless me.
Bless you.
What I will say is,
What I will say is,
the Declan Rice comment is when if you did watch the Chelsea game yesterday and you looked at the West Ham game tonight, he absolutely mopped up everything. He got the ball from the defensive area. He played it out. He is everything that West Ham should build their side around, and everything that other teams would want. Everything that other teams would want.
Yeah. Bradley, I think if we lose to Everton on Tuesday, Moyes will have a dilemma because no more cup games until the FA Cup, and there's a few players that should be starting, in my opinion. I think you're right, Bradley. I think he will have a massive dilemma if we go out of the cup. But you know what? I don't think we're going to go out of the cup. I think we're going to beat Everton on Wednesday, and I think we're going to move forward. Absolutely. When Skies,
we're looking at pessimistically of players not getting a chance in the Premiership and having to play cup games. But what? It's such a good thing. We've got players doing so well that there's no space to break into. We've got 2 teams. It's a good thing.
That's a good thing to have for a change, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, when Skies, 3 players, Fredericks, Creswell, and Masuaku, who have all been crucified late, all need all the credit for the last 2 games' performances. Yeah, mate, I agree. I agree that Fredericks and Creswell played really well. Oh, and Masuaku. I'm kidding. He played well. Right. Okay.
And
we're down to the bottom of the comments. What else do we want to say about tonight? Clean sheet, 4 goals. You know,
Stella Sawaku. Dennis is saying make Rice Prime Minister 100%.
How's that going to help us if he's running the country?
Yeah.
Make Rice Prime Minister. I thought someone said make Masuaku Prime Minister. But anyway. Right. Oh, he's got to go, and so have we got to go as well, haven't we? Cheers for that new notification.
Before we do go, listen, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. Make sure tomorrow night, Stell, what's happening tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, I'm doing my weekly show, and I'll be talking about all the news of the past 8 days. So obviously, very, very brief update on the match review, on the matches that we played. I'm going to be focusing on Sullivan. I know it's a week. Well, it happened last Wednesday, but that'll be the main theme. And of course, all the transfer rumours. We've been told that we got £40 million to spend. We're not going to buy anyone, but I'll give you all the latest updates on all the transfer rumours over the last 8 days as well. There you go. Tune in tomorrow. I don't know what time. Around about 8:30, I think.
He says 8 o'clock. It'll be about 8:30, 9:30.
Yeah, something like that. It'll be tomorrow anyway.
So this week, I think we've got Monday night, Stell's Weekly, West Ham Weekly. Tuesday, we've got a preview of the Everton game. I think we've got an Everton fan coming on for that. We're going to maybe try a match day live for the Wednesday. Although apparently Everton game's not getting filmed, is it?
Exactly. There's that problem. We don't know yet, but I think we might find a way around it. But let's see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
On top of that, we have we don't have the transfer window shut, is it yet? No,
that's the 5th. That'll be Monday week.
We'll keep you up to date. Yeah. So listen, West Ham won 4-0 tonight, 3 points up to 10th place.
10th place, and one goal advantage as well. Can you? I mean, we haven't got a minus. We got 1 goal advantage.
Getting dizzy up here.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the little bell notification when you know videos come on. And what's the other thing you do? I don't know. Comment, all that sort of stuff.
Comment, subscribe, tell your mates, and all that sort of stuff. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I've been Anton. He's been Dan. He's
It's
been
the only
Steph.
channel, by the way, that always tries to bring up all the comments that you guys make. So don't forget that. Don't forget that.
Thanks for watching, and 3 points. Come on, you Irons.